We need to get into V telling people to stop and what that was about. We need to get into people saying that V is not safe in Paris. And then we have V's underwear show. So Dumplings is Dave Disci. Let's get into it. People are talking about how V and his undershirt was recently shown, and a lot of people are freaking out about that. There's been some recent viral photos showing V walking around in a wife beater. I absolutely hate that term, but that is what it's called. This is very different from what he has worn before or what he has ever shown himself wearing in general. So typically before the military, he was wearing clothes that covered up more. He was seen wearing clothes that were long sleeve or kind of baggy, and now we're seeing a lot more tighter and shorter clothes. Several appearances that he has made shows this, as well as people talking about him wearing a t-shirt or just him wearing a lot less layers now than he used to wear before, and it seems like he has been trying to show off more of his physique. And his physique is definitely a great one, so I definitely understand why he's trying to show it off or just wear clothes that he feels more comfortable in. Maybe he's always wanted to wear clothes like this but just never felt like he looked good in them until now. That is definitely how I personally feel. I usually don't wear tank tops or anything like that anymore. Definitely not any wife beaters because I feel like my arms are too skinny and I don't think I look good in that. I think we are going to be getting into a new era where all the BTS boys feel a lot more comfortable in their skin, and this in general is a rarity. I'm glad that they feel this way or potentially are about to feel this way. This definitely means we're going to get a lot more content from them that feels more natural and organic. I have this assumption that I think most people in the community have for quite some time, which is that the boys enjoy being shirtless. I think this is reflected with most guys in general. When no one's around or maybe just them and their significant other, they'll walk around without a shirt and in most cases even without pants. So I'll say I don't think it's even necessarily a sexual thing or it's going to be a sexual thing. I think they're just going forward to not try to censor themselves and they're aiming to be more authentic. And they're grown up, obviously, and if they show more of that stuff and they're more themselves and all that stuff, the viewers are going to take it as they're grown up now and they're going to be doing content for an older demographic. This is what artists are supposed to do. I think we're going to get a lot of people saying, oh, I wish the old BTS was back and all that stuff. And I think what's important to note is that an artist has to grow and develop because their audience, they're going to see them as very strange and very weird if they don't develop and continue to just make the same type of music and style that they're used to. And it's interesting because they've already developed this huge audience and they've grown up for such a long time to completely abandon that audience and then now make music to appeal to a younger audience. It's going to be very weird. Making music for a younger demographic is more lucrative and oftentimes goes viral because kids and teenagers like to share things and they do it very quickly. However, the boys have never been the type to create music for a younger demographic. Their music has always been to appeal to an older audience, and so I think that a lot of people are going to be okay with the new style that we're going to get, or at least I hope so. But speaking of the boys and their recent appearance, we have to talk about V at his recent airport appearance. He was recently seen at the airport going to Paris. I believe this was for the Celine fashion show. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, to say there were a lot of people that showed up at the airport is definitely an understatement. I mean, it looked like they could barely move. There were so many people there. There was people with cameras being shoved into V's face, and there were a lot of pushing to the point where it was quite obvious that even the news sites that were there probably found it a little bit difficult to get a shot of V. I said this before, and I'll say this many times. I don't believe that showing up at the airport is necessarily really a bad thing, but be respectful when you go or don't go, and definitely don't go running up to him and don't try to touch him. Don't get up in his face and do all that, because all it takes is one person trying to run up and jump on V before another person does it, and then just everyone does it. And it's not because they feel like it's okay to do it after one person has done it, but because they can't see V anymore and they don't have the same view anymore. So in order to get that view, they have to run up to him, and then that causes everyone to just go. Now, V came out afterwards and posted a lot of stuff on Weverse. He posted a bunch of photos of him on the airplane showing him looking super cute and super adorable, and then also posted a photo with some text on screen. The text translated from Korean to English, so of course the translation can be off, but this is what I believe it says. It was something along the lines of calling out the community to his own fandom and saying that they must know that everything is dangerous and to be careful next time. Of course, people are taking this as shaming and attacking, so people are coming after everyone that was there. People are coming after all of the content that was there to say that V has called them out personally. But if you really look into this, he is quite literally not saying that. He is saying to just be careful. He's not saying don't come. He's not saying that next time this won't happen, because they shouldn't be there. He's literally saying next time, let's be more careful. So that's implying that there's going to be a next time. And he's aware that people are going to show up. And I absolutely hate this narrative that people use all the time to say that people who go to the airport are stalkers. I've literally been sent emails by record labels asking me to go to the airport to record their their appearance. This is not HYBE, I won't say which label it is, but they've asked me. And so therefore I know some people are being asked as well. And if I was a different type of person, I might broadcast when the boys are going to be somewhere, especially if I'm asked to show up, then I would know the date and time, right? But I've never wanted to do that. It's literally not something I'm interested in. I don't really even like to go to concerts because of the crowd that's there. But it gets crazier, as V was not just seen at the airport, but he was then seen on the receiving end of that. So he showed up where he was going. So apparently not at the Paris airport, although I could be wrong, but I think after he went to his hotel and then he came out of his hotel. So it looked like he changed, he did everything that he wanted to do, like showered or whatever, and then came back out in a completely different outfit. Some people were talking about the fact that there were even people outside of his hotel that were acting like stalkers. Now that could be a moment where someone leaks the information so fans and media sites show up also, but I do hope that V isn't actually staying in that hotel and that was just more so like a decoy hotel, one that they can use for press and appearances, but not one that he will actually be resting his head at, because that is dangerous. Many people were concerned about the safety of him, saying that they're scared someone might break in to every room and just to find him, or maybe someone might try to see if they know any of the staff members that can bring them up to V's room. That of course would not be the first time anything like that has ever happened, but I think V and his team is much smarter than you think. If you've ever interacted with a celebrity, you'll know that you can't really do much without security butting in or potentially even tackling you. So if you just tap a celebrity on the shoulder, you can get hit by security. So obviously my point is these are professional security teams that likely follow V around wherever he goes. Now, one of the reasons I believe it is staged is because he is going to a branded event, and one that he is the ambassador of. So this means that he would be obligated to go to the event or a place that is hosted by this brand to generate buzz. That is the whole point of why he is an ambassador, to generate attention and press. So it seems weird to me that the moment that we find out that he's going to a branded event that is hosted by the brand, that he has an ambassadorship of, and then suddenly everyone knows the exact locations of where he's going to be and exactly where he's going to be, and it's this huge crowd everywhere. That to me tells me it's a PR thing happening here, and it's a planned thing that they're trying to draw up for attention, because what's going to happen is the crowd is then going to follow him into the event, and now all the coverage is going to be explaining that he's going to the event, that's V, he's going to Celine event, and that's a PR thing in my opinion. So let me know what you think. Make sure to check out Patreon for more videos linked down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.